2024, a deep-sea submersible captured footage of something that shouldn't exist. A creature science declared extinct 66 million years ago was alive, and it was moving. A living fossil, untouched by time, discovered in the darkest depths of our planet. 36,000 feet below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, a depth so extreme that Mount Everest could fit inside it and still not touch the surface. Down there, sunlight has never reached. Pressure is immense enough to crush steel like paper. Temperatures drop near freezing. It's a world thought to be lifeless, locked away from evolution itself. But on March 14th, 2024, the research vessel Atlantis Secund detected something unusual on sonar. A massive moving form rising slowly from the trench floor. For a moment, every scientist on deck fell silent. What they found next would challenge everything we thought we knew about extinction. Dr. Eli Vasquez, a marine biologist with 2 decades of deep-sea experience, piloted the submersible that day. At 34,500 feet, deeper than any commercial aircraft flies above land, her lights swept across the sediment. At first, she thought she saw a rock formation. Then it blinked, a slow, deliberate movement, an eye reflecting her light. Later, in her mission log, Dr. Vasquez wrote, "I've seen things down here that would terrify most people, but this was different. It looked at me, and I realized it recognized me as another living being. That eye, with its layered lens and reflective core, was unlike anything known at that depth." Moments later, the full shape emerged, a 14-foot-long coelacanth, twice the size of any previously recorded specimen. But this wasn't just a big fish. Its body displayed features seen only in fossils from the late Cretaceous period, features believed to have vanished 66 million years ago. To understand why this discovery was impossible, we need to go back to the beginning. In 1938, a fisherman off the coast of South Africa pulled something extraordinary from his net, a coelacanth. At the time, scientists believed the species had vanished with the dinosaurs. Newspapers called it the living fossil. It was like finding a living Tyrannosaurus Rex walking through Central Park. Since then, small populations have been discovered hiding in deep, oxygen-poor caves along African and Indonesian coasts. Shy, slow, and ancient, unchanged for nearly 400 million years. But the 2024 Mariana Trench specimen was different, drastically different. It wasn't merely a survivor, it looked like an evolutionary bridge between 2 eras. And as data poured in from the expedition, 3 disturbing features began to stand out. Traits that defied everything evolutionary science had taught us. First, the fins. Modern coelacanths have lobed fins, thick, fleshy limbs used for gentle movement along the seafloor. But this specimen's fins contain proto-limb bone structures, the very kind that helped ancient fish crawl onto land 375 million years ago. When evolutionary biologist Dr. Richard Holloway at Cambridge reviewed the scans, he reportedly said, "If this data is accurate, we're looking at a transitional form that shouldn't exist today, like finding a half-bird, half-dinosaur flying across the sky." Second, the skull. CT scans revealed a small cavity in the skull known as the pineal eye socket, a third eye once used by ancient reptiles to detect light cycles and navigate in darkness. No modern fish has this. It disappeared from evolutionary records 200 million years ago. So why did this creature still have it? And third, the stomach contents. Inside were partially digested remains of a species believed extinct for 80 million years. Tiny crustaceans known only from fossils. That meant either these ancient prey species still exist somewhere down there, or this coelacanth had access to a food chain lost to time. 2 impossible species, one eating the other, both hidden in the deepest trench on Earth. If our understanding of extinction is wrong, what else could be lurking in those depths? Could the Mariana Trench be home to entire species the world forgot? What do you think is really down there? Leave your theory in the comments, because what comes next changes everything. Here's the theory scientists refuse to discuss openly. The The Mariana Trench isn't just deep, it's isolated. Down there, tectonic shifts create hydrothermal vents that release heat, minerals, and gases, forming self-contained ecosystems that operate entirely independent of the surface. What if the Cretaceous extinction event, the asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs, never reached that deep? When the asteroid struck Earth 66 million years ago, dust and firestorms blocked sunlight, destroying life on the surface. But in the trench, shielded under 7 miles of ocean, nothing changed. Life there could have continued uninterrupted, evolving separately from the rest of the planet. In 2019, a classified military sonar scan reportedly detected 47 massive biomass signatures clustered within a 3-mile radius of the trench. The data was never made public. A year later, a leaked report surfaced online describing moving organisms between 12 and 40 feet in length, traveling in coordinated hunting-like formations. Their location? The exact coordinates where Dr. Vasquez discovered the Coelacanth 5 years later. Coincidence or confirmation? The truth might be deeper than science alone, because this discovery threatens something far larger than academia. It threatens profit. In 2023, 32 nations signed agreements allowing corporations to begin deep-sea mining in the Pacific. Billions, even trillions, in rare earth minerals like cobalt, nickel, and lithium rest on the ocean floor. And the Mariana Trench sits right at the center of those plans. If the world learned that a living prehistoric ecosystem existed down there, mining operations would have to halt instantly. Environmental laws would block permits, stock prices would crash, investors would panic. So instead of celebrating the greatest biological discovery in centuries, the evidence was buried. Dr. Vasquez's footage was seized within 48 hours of her resurfacing. She was offered a $2 million settlement in exchange for silence. She refused. Within 3 weeks, her lab lost all federal funding. Her research permits were revoked. Then her submersible, the one that filmed the creature, reportedly malfunctioned during its next dive. It imploded under pressure. Nothing was recovered. Since then, Dr. Vasquez has vanished from the public eye. This isn't the first time the ocean has surprised us. The megamouth shark, discovered in 1976, was thought extinct for 23 million years. The frilled shark resurfaced in 2007, unchanged for 80 million years. And the goblin shark, a true relic of the dinosaur age, still prowls the deep. Every decade, the ocean reveals another ghost of prehistory, proof that we've barely scratched the surface of its secrets. Scientists estimate that over 95% of the ocean floor remains unexplored. If a 14-foot prehistoric fish can hide for 66 million years, what else might be down there? In April 2024, 2 months after the Coelacanth discovery, a Japanese expedition recorded mysterious acoustic signals emanating from the trench. Low-frequency calls similar to whale songs, but 10 times louder. No known species matches their pattern. The recordings show rhythmic sequences like communication or coordination. Something massive is alive down there, something intelligent enough to respond. Something ancient is calling from the deepest place on Earth, and we might be about to wake it. Before disappearing, Dr. Vasquez said one final thing. What we found wasn't just a fish. It was proof that life finds a way to survive anything, even extinction. The question isn't what's down there, but whether we have the right to destroy it before we even know what it is. But this story doesn't end here. Leaked sonar footage from that 2019 military operation shows something even more extraordinary. One of the 47 biomass signatures moving at speeds physically impossible at that depth and heading toward the surface. That video drops in 3 days. Subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and don't miss it. Because once you see what's on that footage, you'll never look at the ocean the same way again.